I'm Colson Ford. Today we'll be talking about the skeletal system. Here's my note card right here. Flip that around. Good. Okay. We'll get started. So why know the skeletal system? The skeletal system is important for clinical applications because it can help you kind of show what fractures bones are more susceptible to, such as the vertebral bones might be more susceptible to a compressive fracture than other bones. That helps with at least knowing which bones are at more risk due to certain injuries or accidents. We have other kind of autoimmune issues that are applicable to bones, such as like rheumatoid arthritis. We have other things that's going on like osteoporosis and the treatment of that. So there are a lot of applications of the skeletal system to real-world clinical practice. On that note, we're going to go ahead and start talking about the shapes of the bones. There are 7. So we'll start off with flat bones, which are one easy one to know of is the left parietal bone or the right parietal bone. These are flat bones. They have 2 parallel compound or compact bones with a spongy layer in the middle. These compact layers are located superiorly and inferiorly to that spongy layer. Provides a lot of protection while also being very lightweight. Another bone type there is the suture bones. These suture bones are basically what fuse together our skeletal bones in this head of the skull mostly. These are very small, very irregularly shaped bones. They actually have their own area of ossification or bone formation. Next one we have is the pneumaticized bones, such as the ethmoid. These are hollow bones, containing a lot of air pockets or air cavities. The next bone that we have is long bones, such as the humerus. Long bone shapes are long and slender. They have a hollow center that divides 2 epiphyses and 2 metaphyses. We have short bones, such as found in the carpal bones of the hand. These are box-like compound bones or compact bones surrounding spongy bones. The next bone that comes to mind would be the sesamoid bones of the patella. These are small, flat, round bones that are surrounded by tissues, such as tendon tissues in the patella's case. And lastly, we have irregular bones. Irregular bones are such as the vertebrae and the spine. They have spinous projections and other kind of projections coming out of the bone. Their exterior and interior structures may differ between bone to bone, but that's why they're called irregular bones. Next, we'll talk about the skeletal system itself, try to name them the best we can and point at everything. What I'm going to go ahead and do is take off the skull cap here, and we'll start from there, and we'll work our way down. So, right here, we have, let's see if I can switch this to make it less bright. We have the frontal bone, the right parietal bone, the left parietal bone, and in the back, right, the very top, we get the very tip of the occipital bone. I'll put the skull cap back on so we can see the rest. Yes, everything back here underneath that suture line is the occipital bone. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little bit better. Perfect. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start off by talking about the side of the skull. The bone's located here. And okay. So right here we have the temporal bone, the sphenoid bone, right here, the zygomatic bone. Over here, the mandible. It's only one piece for the whole side. Everything I named in this region up here is a left and a right sided. Okay, we'll start right here. We have the right maxilla, the left maxilla, what is the name? The vomer, the little bone structure right in there. We have the left and right nasal bone. This is the right in this case. The lacrimal bone. The ethmoid right back in there. The sphenoid kind of showing itself again. And the palpatine bone. Or palinate bone. And it's easier to see that one inferiorly. We have the hyaloid bone kind of free floating right here. And we have the nasal conch inside of the nose. You just can't really see them with this structure. Next thing we'll do is talk about the vertebrae. We have C1 right here, all the way down to C7 right there. Next we have T1 where my fingertip is, right here, all the way to T12, which is right here. Turn this for you. My pen slipped off T12. Then we have L1 to L5, the sacrum, and then the distal coccyx. We'll come back over here. We have the right clavicle, right here. We have the sternum. We have the 12 ribs. 11 and 12 are free. 11 and 12 are free floating. The rib cage, ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. We have the right scapula. Then we have the left scapula over here. We'll go back to the right side. The humerus between these fingers. We have the radius between my two fingers out here. And we have the ulna between these two fingers running down. We'll talk about the hand bones, okay? The carpal bones. Everything in here. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Maybe if I... Perfect. Okay. So, right here we have the scaphoid, followed by the lunate, right over here. Next, we have, it's easier to see on this other side, right here. My pen doesn't fall off. Sorry. Right here, we have the triquetrum, and on the other side has the pisiform. And then right below that, right there, that I just drew on, that is the hamate. Above that is the triquetrum. Then we'll move on over. Back. Okay, I'm gonna get this guy. We said the scaphoid was right there. I'm going to mark it. Where that little dot is. Right below the scaphoid is a trapezium over here. The trapezium, the trapezoid, the capitate. Then we have the metacarpals, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, followed by the proximal, middle, and distal phalanx. Next thing we will do is talk about the pelvis. So we have the ilium up here between my fingers. Down here, where my fingers touching, we have the ischium, and then the pubic bone. We have the femur. We have the big bone right here on this right side, or I can run my pen down right here. The tibia, fibia, the patella's up in here. talk about the foot lastly. So we have up at the top, we have the talus. Out here, we have the cuboid. Over we have the navicular, and then we have the medial, intermediate, and lateral cuneiforms. And at the bottom is the calcaneus. Then we have the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth metatarsals, and then the proximal, middle, and distal. Proximal, not really marked that well. Proximal, middle, and distal phalanx again. The big toe only really has a proximal and distal, no middle. Alright, that covers everything. I hope you have a good one, okay? You have a good one.